She led Pakistan's delegation at the 2020 Afghanistan conference co-hosted by Finland, Afghanistan, and the United Nations Assistance Mission in Afghanistan held virtually from Geneva, Switzerland. Addressing the conference, the foreign minister highlighted Pakistan's contribution to help Afghanistan attain self reliance. He reiterated Pakistan's full support for Afghanistan's endeavors for regional connectivity. The World Economic Forum organized a country strategy dialogue for Pakistan yesterday. Prime Minister Imran Khan inaugurated the dialogue and participated in an interactive session with the President of the World Economic Forum and the chairpersons and CEOs of the global corporations and World Economic Forum partner companies. The second strategic dialogue by the World Economic Forum within 1 year is recognition of Pakistan's positive economic trajectory. Pakistan hosted the inaugural meeting of SAARC planning ministers on the theme of shaping the SAARC Vision 2030. The Minister for Planning, Development and Special Initiatives, Mr. Asad Umar, chaired the meeting. The meeting was preceded by the SAARC Planning Secretaries meeting, which was also hosted by Pakistan to lay the groundwork for the ministerial meeting. The SAARC Planning Ministers and Secretaries meetings were a reaffirmation of Pakistan's commitment to the SAARC process and its efforts to forge closer cooperation among the member states. We have noticed some speculative reports regarding the recognition of Israel by Pakistan. Let me once again reiterate that there is no change in Pakistan's principled position on the issue. The recognition of Israel is not under consideration. The Prime Minister has made it clear that unless a just settlement of the Palestine issue satisfied to the Palestinian people is found, Pakistan cannot recognize Israel. For just and lasting peace, it is imperative to have a two-state solution in accordance with the relevant United Nations and OIC resolutions with the pre-1967 borders and Al-Quds Al-Sharif as the capital of a viable, independent and contiguous Palestinian state. Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi is leading Pakistan's delegation to the 47th session of the Council of Foreign Ministers of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation being held in Niamey, Niger on 27th and 28th of November 2020. During the two-day session, the CFM will discuss a wide range of issues confronting the Muslim world with particular focus on combating Islamophobia and defamation of the religions, Palestine, Jammu and Kashmir dispute, and the situation of Muslim communities and minorities in non-OIC member states. During the visit, the Foreign Minister will highlight aggravating human rights and humanitarian situation in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, rising incidents of Islamophobia and hate speech against Muslims, and emphasize the need for unity of the Islamic world to combat the scourge of Islamophobia and promote interfaith harmony. On the sidelines, the Foreign Minister will also hold bilateral meetings with his counterparts from various OIC member states. Now, coming to the situation in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, the inhuman military siege, communications blockade, media blackout, and brutalization of innocent Kashmiris continue for 479 days since India's illegal and inhuman unilateral actions of 5th August 2019. In the month of November alone, Indian occupation forces have martyred 14 Kashmiris in staged encounters under the garb of so-called cordon and search operations. During the last 1 year, Indian occupation forces have extrajudicially killed more than 300 innocent Kashmiris, including women and children, in fake encounters, in complete violation of the fundamental precepts of international humanitarian law. Pakistan calls for immediate and transparent judicial inquiry under international scrutiny into the extrajudicial killings of innocent Kashmiris. According to a new recent Deutsche Welle report, India shuts down internet more than any other country in the world. A Deutsche Welle analysis has found that shutdowns are strategically used to clamp down on dissent. India's own Supreme Court has ruled that indefinite shutdowns are unconstitutional. Yet, the IIOJK continues to face the longest shutdowns in the history. The Foreign Minister has addressed another letter to the President of the United Nations Security Council and the Secretary General, updating them on the grave human rights situation in IIOJK. The letter by the Foreign Minister is part of Pakistan's consistent efforts to keep the UN Security Council and the Secretary General informed of the serious situation in IIOJK, and also to demand resolution of the Jammu and Kashmir dispute in accordance with the United Nations Security Council resolutions and the wishes of the Kashmiri people. International community, including the leading experts and human rights activists, continue to raise the voice against genocidal violence and egregious human rights violations in IIOJK. Dr. Gregory Stanton, the founder president of Genocide Watch, has recently stated that preparations for genocide is definitely underway in India. Explaining the systematic targeting of Muslims, Dr. Stanton has stated that the persecution of Muslims in Assam and Kashmir is the stage before a genocide. The next stage is extermination. That's what we call a genocide. The situation of minorities, particularly the Muslims in India, is indeed a matter of deep concern. Pakistan strongly condemns the heart-rending incident of a Muslim girl burned alive in Bihar, India by right-wing Hindus. The horrific incident underscored the intensifying marginalization of minorities in India, especially Muslims, as a result of the extremist Hindutva ideology of the present RSS-inspired Indian government. Such episodes reveal the fiction of India being a so-called secular democracy when it is in fact a majoritarian state where minorities feel increasingly threatened. As you are aware, Pakistan has presented a dossier providing irrefutable evidence of India's state sponsorship of terrorism in Pakistan. The comprehensive dossier presented by Pakistan contains incriminating evidence of India's active planning, promoting, aiding, abetting, financing, and execution of terrorist activities inside Pakistan. The dossier also presents evidence of India's training and harboring of Pakistan-centric terrorist entities for perpetuating terrorism and instigating instability in Pakistan. The document highlights India's money laundering and terrorist financing aimed at instigating direct as well as indirect anti-state activities inside Pakistan through subnationalist entities, including India's attempts at trying to undermine, delay, and disrupt the China-Pakistan economic corridor. The evidence details how Indian embassies and consulates act as epicenter of state-sponsored terrorism against Pakistan, including their status as hubs of terrorist training and financing activities. to expose Indian state sponsorship of terrorism, Pakistan continues to share the incriminating evidence against India with the international community. In this regard, Pakistan has already shared the dossier with the 5 permanent members of the United Nations Security Council, the EU, and United Nations Secretary General. Pakistan calls upon the UN counter-terrorism bodies to proceed on the basis of the evidence provided by Pakistan and urge India to renounce use of terrorism as an instrument of state policy, dismantle the infrastructure of terrorism it has established to inflict terrorism on Pakistan, and to stop use of other countries' soil for its terrorist activities directed against Pakistan. Following the presentation of dossier by Pakistan, India has stepped up its anti-Pakistan propaganda using the often repeated bogey of cross-border terrorism. As part of its despicable efforts, India has recently attempted to implicate Pakistan in some alleged planned attack in Nagrota in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Pakistan categorically rejects the completely groundless allegations by the Prime Minister of India in this regard and the Indian Ministry of External Affairs. Pakistan views these entirely baseless and unsubstantiated Indian allegations as part of India's desperate attempts to divert international attention from its state terrorism in IIOJK and its sponsorship of terrorism against Pakistan. Here, I would also like to respond to the gratuitous remarks made by the Indian External Affairs Minister on social media yesterday. Masquerading as a victim of terrorism is part of India's desperate attempts to malign Pakistan and to divert international attention from its state terrorism in IIOJK and its state sponsorship of terrorism against Pakistan. The dossier presented by Pakistan, providing irrefutable evidence of India's state sponsorship of terrorism, has fully exposed the true face of Hindutva fascism. The Indian side would be well advised to drop its act of victimhood, eschew the use of terrorism as an instrument of state policy. As a country that has suffered the most as a result of Indian sponsorship of terrorism, Pakistan will continue to expose India's propaganda in this regard. Let me also share that to divert world attention from its wrongdoings at home and abroad, India continues to escalate tensions along the line of control. The unprovoked ceasefire violations by India targeting innocent civilians are in clear violation of the 2003 ceasefire understanding and are also against the established humanitarian norms and professional military conduct. This year alone, India has committed more than 2,840 ceasefire violations, resulting in 27 shahadats and serious injuries to 245 innocent civilians. Pakistan calls upon India to respect the 2003 ceasefire understanding, investigate such incidents of deliberate ceasefire violations, and maintain peace along the line of control and the working boundary. Pakistan also urges India to allow the United Nations Military Observer Group in India and Pakistan to play its mandated role as per the United Nations Security Council resolutions. With this, I thank you for your attention and I'm happy to take any questions on these or